Hi, and welcome to O2 Tara Talks, conversations about one thing you can do right now to stay healthy in your body and mind. First, a disclaimer. Today's talk is for informational purposes only. Consult your practitioner for guidance specific to your situation. Okay, and now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's meet our guest. Today, we are talking with Julie Donnelly, the pain relief expert. Hi, Julie. How are you?
Hi, Tara. Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. Now, Julie, can you tell us in one sentence how you help people?
What I do, Tara, is I show people where the source of pain is very frequently coming from and how to self-treat it.
Wow. So you
Primarily
help people.
because muscles aren't looked at, so it's one of the things that's overlooked when people try to find the source of pain.
Mm-hmm. And I'll just say now before we get into your conversation, you taught me something amazing, which is why I'm so excited to talk to you today. So can we go right in, and can you tell us, Julie, what is one thing we can do right now?
Well, there's a bunch of things, but the one that I want to share with you specifically is the muscle in your shoulder. You know how you get like, it feels like a little golf ball right here? That muscle is called levator scapulae, and the nickname for it is called the shrug muscle, because when it contracts, you do that, you shrug. Problem is, it originates on your first 4 cervical vertebrae. It inserts onto your shoulder blade, which is why you shrug. But when it goes into a knot, first of all, your shoulders have a tendency of kind of like inching up. You don't go from here to here overnight. You go, a little tiny bit at a time, and you're not even paying attention. And eventually you look like a turtle, because your head is in. But when you bring your arm down for some reason, maybe you're picking up something or whatever, and you bring your arm down, it pulls your cervical vertebra to the side and down. And it pushes the bone into your spinal cord right at the base of your brain.
Yikes.
Yeah, so it causes wicked headaches. I mean, horrible headaches. And it can come also when you're sleeping. If your pillow, this is like one of my hit parade things that I always talk to people about. If your pillow, if you're a side sleeper, and so here's the mattress, and if your pillow's too thin, your head's like this all night. And if your pillow's too thick, your head's like this all night. Either way around, you're tightening the muscles in your neck and you're holding them there for hours. So then you get up in the morning, and sometimes you'll wake up with a headache. If you wake up with a headache, you can almost be guaranteed that you've been doing this or this all night long. And sometimes it happens like during the day, especially if you're under stress, which right this minute with everything that's going on, we're all under stress.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And including the financial stress, it's not even like, anyway, we won't get into that. But what happens is you're doing this, and so you need to release these muscles, and that's what I want to show you and your viewers.
That would be great. Can you show us how to do that?
Yep. So right here, hold on a minute. Right there's let's see if you can see it. There's like a little gully.
Yes.
Right, neck right here.
So
just put your finger into the gully.
Yeah.
And it actually is better. Put your thumb.
Thumb, okay.
I'm not going to show this. Oh, here, you can see it better this way. So it's my thumbprint. My thumbprint is going into the gully.
So kind of like the flattened part of the thumb, not the point, but flat. Okay.
Right. And then, can you see that?
Yeah.
Your fingers are all the way back here. So see how you have a whole chunk of muscle in between?
Yes.
So now what you're going to do, so your elbows up in the air. So, yeah, like that. Grip the muscle hard. And now, while you're gripping it hard, slowly bring your elbow down to your chest, your body.
What does the bringing the elbow down, is that sort of turn?
So what it does is you're like this, you bring your elbow down and it's doing that.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Pushing your thumb up into the muscle. And you
Hmm.
can feel it. I mean, I'm sure that you're feeling it right
Yeah.
now.
And I have one question for you about the placement. So the little gully that you talked about, it's sort of there's the whole bone running along there.
Right.
We want
Right.
to do that in that whole area, or is there one specific point?
Well, it's what'll happen is, so you're in the gully and you can come up and you'll feel like this is the trapezius muscle also. You're actually working on two muscles. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of one of those bonus treatments. I love bonus treatments.
Yeah.
You're working on more than one thing. But you'll feel like the trapezius muscle up here. It's almost like a little lump, you know,
Yeah.
a hump, right? So your thumb is in the front of it and your fingers are in the back of it. Then when you grip it hard, I mean, you can feel it already when you're gripping it hard.
Yeah.
So make sure you have a thick piece of muscle in the middle. You don't want to be just like on skin.
Okay.
That's not going to help you at all, right? And so you're there, and then you hold it. And what you'll do, so your elbow is down now, your thumb is pressed up into the muscle. You might even be feeling some pain in your head, especially if the muscle's tight, you will.
Mm.
So don't worry about it. It's okay. And you're in charge of the pressure. So if it's really hurting, lighten up.
Loose to, right, makes sense.
Loosen your grip a little bit. Anyway, you're holding on. And then after you've held it for about a minute, drop your head in the opposite direction. So keep holding it and drop your head. And you'll feel it stretching.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh wow, I really do. Yeah. So it's basically like by using the thumb and the other side and putting that gentle sort of pressure as you rotate. That's almost like loosening it. And then when you do the neck, that's to stretch it when you angle it.
Right. You know what I tell my clients is, remember when we were kids? I mean, at least when I was a kid, we had saltwater taffy and you'd play with it, you know, and you'd roll around, and you made a little jump rope, right? You know, it's really kind of gross when you think about it. Kids are kids, you know, they do what they do. But anyway, so if you have your taffy jump rope and it was straight, and somebody took their fingers and did this, your taffy jump rope is now doing that, right?
Right.
And the only way to make it straight again would be to do this.
Ah.
Okay. So when you're pressing into the muscle, you're already stretching it. Just the fact of putting pressure on it is stretching it.
I see. Okay.
Okay. But then if you're holding it so you're already stretching it when you're doing this. Mm-hmm. But then when you do this, now you're taking it and you're really stretching it even further, because now you're taking this and stretching it, but under pressure. Right?
Yes.
Then what you're going to do, so you do that, and do it on both sides.
And can I ask you one question? Because when I did it on my left side and then I did it on my right side, I actually felt more of the movement on my right side. I could feel less over here. Does that mean I'm even tighter over there, or that's
probably. Usually whichever one hurts the most is the one that's the tightest.
Okay.
And the hurt part, so you've heard of lactic acid.
Yeah.
Most people have heard of lactic acid. So
why don't we just say quickly, it's basically what builds up in the muscle when it's in use, right? And
right. Well, yes and no.
Okay.
But so I have a wonderful friend who's a PhD biochemistry, and so I have cleared this through him so many times to make sure this is accurate. Okay. Lactic acid is actually two elements, lactate, and the acid part is hydrogen ions. And just like if you cut down a tree and you cut it up and you put it in the fire, and you're going to get energy, heat, and you're going to end up with a pile of ashes, right? Lactate, you can relate that to being the tree and the energy. So you have to, if you didn't have lactate, you wouldn't move. I mean, you just wouldn't move, you'd be a lump. But when you're burning the lactate, the residue is an acid, and it's called hydrogen ions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the body does use hydrogen ions for other things. I mean, it has a purpose. But the problem is we generate more than we use.
Okay.
So you have this buildup of hydrogen ions. And it's a negative thing only because you have this buildup, but it's like you don't want to not have it.
Right. So what does having the buildup do? Is that what leads to the muscle tension or the fatigue, or what does it do?
It causes the muscle to spasm, to shorten. Okay. And as it shortens, so think about if I had a little pool of hydrogen ions right here, and this is the muscle. And as it's shortening, it kind of like does this around the hydrogen ions.
I see.
The pain you're feeling when you're pressing, you're actually feeling the acid being forced out of the muscle fiber.
Interesting.
And it's going into your bloodstream, and so that's why you have to drink, like if you go for a massage, they tell you drink water.
Oh, okay.
You're drinking the water to flush the acid out of your body.
Interesting.
The excess acid.
Yeah, so the muscle is contracting to sort of get rid of these hydrogen ions, to get them out of the muscle.
No, what it is that the hydrogen ions kind of trigger the muscle to shorten up.
Okay.
All right. Now, obviously, like if my hand is open and I want to close it, wow, it looks really big when you're on Zoom, doesn't it? All right. So if my hand is open and I want to close it, so the muscles in my forearm contract, and so I do this. So all muscle contraction is, all of it's good. It's positive.
We need it, yeah.
You need it, or else you're not going to move. But you have this excess hydrogen ions that get stuck. And when you're squeezing and you feel the pain, you're actually feeling it's an acid. So you're feeling the acid come out through the muscle fiber.
Wow.
Okay. And that's why, so go back and squeeze your shoulder again, and you'll see it's not going to hurt as much as it did before.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. It just doesn't hurt as much as it did before. Because the percentage of, when you force the hydrogen ions out, the body filled the void with blood, and the blood heals the muscle, right? Mm. And so the percentage, like now when you're squeezing it this time, your percentage of hydrogen ions to blood has changed.
Right, right.
And so it's less painful.
Yeah.
So then you come away, and you don't have to take off for long, like 30 seconds, and then go back and do it again. Mm-hmm. And you just keep, and eventually you're going to squeeze it, and it's like, all you feel is pressure.
Yeah.
You squeeze it, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, because that's always an area of challenge, shall we say, for me. And I think
most people.
Yeah. And is it like because we tend to be on computers and doing things that keep our hands up, or is there something else?
Well, that's a part of it. Obviously, especially like what I tell people, and of course, sometimes it goes and sometimes people go, not doing that. But like your laptop, the reason it's called a laptop is because you're supposed to have it in your lap. Mm. Now, if you're up here, like, I wish you could see, but visualize it.
Yeah.
All right. So my laptop is on the desk right this minute. So if I'm going to type, I have to use these muscles to pick my arm up to put it on the desk. Now, it's not a big movement. It's just, I did pick up my arm to put it on the desk, and that muscle shortened. Now I'm staying here for who knows how long.
Right.
If I have a mouse, it's even worse, because now I'm using these muscles to bring my arm out to use the mouse, and then I'm using several muscles to move my arm around like this with the mouse.
Right.
So you're using all these muscles, and you don't think about it because you're not doing anything powerful. Like if you go to the gym and you're lifting weights, you know what you're doing.
Right.
But you're not thinking about it when you're just using your mouse. But you still contract, and you're not releasing. All
Right.
you're doing is contracting. So what I tell people to do, especially if people have really bad shoulder problems, and then I get, more insistent, put your keyboard on your lap,
Yeah.
right? Your computer can stay up there on your desk, but put your keyboard on your lap. And there's a wonderful thing, and I don't sell it, I don't market it, nothing. So this is not an advertisement for me, but it's called a roller mouse. And I love it. The roller mouse is fabulous because you can put it in your lap, you put your keyboard on top of it, and it has like this little bar that looks like a pencil, like a rubber pencil. And that's actually how you move your cursor, is with this little pencil type thing. And if you click on it, and then it has a left and right click button. And so it's in your lap.
So you don't have to have your arm, it just goes right onto the keyboard itself.
Right. And so your elbows are down at your side. So you can be working for hours and hours, but your shoulders are relaxed, your elbows are at your side, and your hands are going crazy because you're typing or whatever.
Right.
But at least you haven't used this.
Yes, yes. I have to tell you that because of everything, all the changes that we have during this pandemic, I have been on my laptop so much more. And like you said, it is a laptop, but I don't keep it in my lap. And I've been feeling so much more pain and everything. So just yesterday, I ordered a keyboard so that I could, so I could do just what you said, keep the keyboard in my lap and still be able to look up. Because the one thing that I always think about with the screen, being a breathing specialist, if we have that screen and we are angling our heads downward, we are kinking our airways. So we're kind of going to get it one way or another, So my goal is to keep my screen up and then have this.
Which is perfect. I mean, think how perfect that is.
Yeah.
Because your shoulders are relaxed, your arms are relaxed, especially if you're not using a mouse.
Yeah. Good. I didn't think of the mouse angle, but that's really important. I'm glad that you mentioned that. So, all right. So, and I think, normally we tie it back in to say, why this one thing is important for a person's health. But I think it's pretty obvious. You mentioned if you're doing this, you get pain, you get you get all these things that just are going to impact your life because pain and that is no good. Awesome.
And
go ahead.
Even if you think about it, so you're sitting at your computer for hours. Sitting is the #1 reason for back pain. Because the muscles that have to contract to pull you into the sitting position, the one major muscle called the psoas originates on the front side of your lumbar vertebra, and it inserts into the top of your thigh bone. And then there's another muscle, the iliacus, that's on the inside of your pelvis, and it inserts at the same place as the psoas. When they contract, you sit down.
I was just going to say, maybe what we could do, because the psoas is so important for the way you feel, right? It's like one of your most central muscles. Maybe we could do a separate talk on that for people.
I would love to do that.
Let's definitely do that, because I see also you have your book there too, the 15-minute back pain solution. And I know you have other things as well that can help people just sort of figure out how to make their bodies pain-free by different things to work on the muscles. So Julie, if people wanted to find more about you and to find out the other books and things that you have, where would they go?
Well, you can go to, it's called Julstro Method. It's JULSTRO method, METHOD.com. And you can read just a ton of information. There's so much information. There's another website as well called flexibleathlete.com.
Okay. So Julstro, JUL, like Julie, and Stro, STRO, kind of like strong. Julstro.
Julie Stroke.
Oh, like stroke. So, because of the massage. Okay, so JulestroSTRO.com Great. And then the other one
Right,
is
Jules Stroh method. Jules Stroh
oh,
method.
sorry, yes, Jules Stroh method. I will write it in the description for people that
Okay,
want to look that up, because I mean, I love what you do, because
I
it
do too.
allows us to really help our body to understand our bodies and to kind of
Yeah,
heal them, so that, how many people do you know that take a muscle relaxant because they have back pain? Well, that's
right.
great because it gives you that immediate relief, but it's going
It's not-
to worsen.
it's like putting Anbesol on a toothache. You still have the cavity in your tooth, you just don't feel it.
Exactly. And so here you're giving us real concrete strategies that we can use to really address the pain and become pain free, which I love. I love
I
that.
love it too, and I'm going to start kind of modeling after you. I'm going to start having uh, classes that I'm going to teach, self-treatment classes, because you can get rid of pain from headaches to plantar fasciitis, which is your foot, and everything in the middle. And I teach treatments for everything.
Well, let me know when you are starting those classes, because I will definitely be attending them. I think your work is great, and I think the way you
Thank
do
you.
it is wonderful. And I so appreciate you coming on with us today to share with us really how to, how to release that muscle to get that pain, to relieve that pain. Well, thank you so much, Julie.
And I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to share it. So thank you so much, Tara.
Oh, you are most welcome.
Have a great